I would like to speak to what I call the magic number of 35. And by 35, I'm talking about years. I'm not talking about money, and I am not talking about um, possessions. I'm not talking about body count. I'm not talking about countries. I am talking about years and how that number plays a significant part in a man's life. I'm speaking now to men, and as a brother, I'm coming to you with some of my life lessons, some of the pains I have had when combined with the gift of introspection and reflection have caused me to develop a different perspective about life, a different expectation of the future, and some progress. Let me start today's session with a formula, an equation, an algorithm that I think every man should install in their system. Pain, once experienced. If you extract the signal, the message from the experience, recognizing that pain is simply a messenger, accepting what the messenger has to say, and reading the tea leaves, reading the letter the messenger has delivered through the gift of introspection, through the gift of reflection, over time will lead to progress. It may not lead to success. It may not, I'm afraid, lead to fulfillment. But if accepted, it will always lead to progress. And the reason is simple, because that's the way life works. I often use the reference that when you walk into a cinema to watch a movie, or to watch a documentary, or to watch something that is either entertaining, educational, or both, one of the things that should be used as a criteria for judging the quality of the experience are your emotions. If you walked out of the experience with the same level of emotional state that you had upon walking in, then you've just wasted a portion of your life. You've invested your time poorly because you haven't changed. We go to movies, we listen to music for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is simply because we want the experience of having our emotions and our feelings lowered or raised. And that experience enables us to reflect, pause, introspect, allow empathy and sympathy to come into our hearts, gives us the opportunity to think, to dream again, to get reconnected with something that could be transcendental, something beyond the physical, something that is calling us to greatness, or something that is reminding us of our greatness. Those experiences are the yardsticks that you use to judge the time invested in a cinema, in a movie. Similarly, those are the same experiences and the processes that you should have for judging a lot of the things in your life. Relationships. Is my relationship, or is this relationship, elevating me to a better place? Is it keeping me at the same place? Or is it pulling me to a level below where I am today? Now, let me help you by saying that there is no such thing as staying in the same place. Human beings and everything in existence is either growing or we are dying. The concept of being the same, the concept that the relationship doesn't add or doesn't remove or subtract from you is false. We are deteriorating, and every relationship will deteriorate, except it's nurtured, it's fed, it's looked after, it's watered. You plant the seed and you have a harvest. But something happens in between the two phases. We call that the waiting time. During the waiting time, you have to tend to the crop. You have to water the plants, feed, you have to prune the plants, and you've done. Sometimes you have more of a harvest than you would have had you not engaged in those activities. So nothing stays the same. So, as men, one of the few questions that I would want you to think about, whatever your life might consist of, and whatever your experiences might contain, a simple question is always, is this experience moving me progressively in the direction of my dreams? Am I moving forward at the right speed? Or am I moving backwards at a speed which is not necessarily healthy to me? Most people are traveling in the wrong direction, and sadly, as they travel, they increase their speed. That makes it very hard, and certainly very, very challenging, because something is inevitable, which is pain. Other people are moving forward, but at a snail's pace, at a very small, slow, sluggish pace. For some people, it's the absence of a dream, the absence of a goal, the absence of a philosophy of life, a purpose, a calling, the absence of the right attitude. Therefore, the pace of travel is so slow. Now, the one thing we both have, as you listen to me, is we do not have an infinite amount of time. Like an hourglass, the glass at the bottom is all spent. We can see how much we have. The glass above is unknown. We do not know how much time that we have left. What we do know is that the sand still has some quantity left. We can make a decision as to the level of urgency through which we attempt opportunities, experiences, goals, dreams, relationships. We can decide which is perhaps my hope, and what I hope I am putting across in today's message, that time doesn't wait for you. Your past is like a spent check. It's been cashed already. There is nothing you can do to have it back. You can't use the funds again. It's all been spent. The future, my future and your future, is like a credit note. It's a promissory note. It's a promise in the future. That promise may never materialize. We hope it does, and I sincerely wish for you success. But I do not know what the future holds. I have a plan, but I cannot tell you for certain what will happen. Your present and my present and this time we have is cash. That's all we have. That is all we can spend. Now I know in financial terms, spending power is a combination of cash and credit. The cash you have today and the credit that has been given to you for the future. When you combine both, that is the total amount of spending that you have. That works in financial terms. It doesn't always work in every area of life. This time is all you have. And my hope and my dream for you is that you pull out that book you once had, where you had a list of goals, things you wanted to do, places you wanted to go, who you wanted to become, experiences you want to have or wanted to have. And I would encourage you to start checking those off urgently. Don't wait. Take the cash you have, which is time today, and make the best of it. A good life is simply not something out there in the future. A good life is a good day. What you do daily determines who you become in the future and permanently. Small daily habits are usually the pathway, the gateway to whatever future you want. The journey begins in one simple small step. The first step does not have to be the right step. In many ways, I have found that stumbling your way to success, whatever you define success as, is the first step and the right approach. Take a step. As the saying goes, jump, and then grow your wings on your way down. Take a stab at life. Get off the hard shoulder. Get yourself back on the motorway. Drive at a pace where you feel comfortable, not too slow, and not too fast. And as you pick up confidence, you can increase your speed. My hope for you is that you achieve your dreams and goals. I would like to end on a positive note and say that I know you will. Well, statistically, in every nation across the world, research, data, and the statistics available says that less than 5% of people at the end of their working life will be financially independent, wealthy, and financially free. %35 or so will be dependent. The remaining 60%, unfortunately, will struggle to make ends meet. That is the statistics. So although I wish you success, you have to decide what category and what group you would like to fall into. The top 5%, the middle 35%, or the bottom, which is always overcrowded. Now, whatever you choose, recognize that should you choose the latter two groups, at any point in time, on any day, you can rewrite the script of your life. You don't have to live your life the same way, irrespective of your upbringing, your experiences, irrespective of the obstacles, the challenges ahead of you, irrespective of your limitations and your limits, both metaphysically and physically, irrespective of your abilities. Every day you can dream. Now, Henry David Thoreau said that if you endeavor to live the life that you have dreamed, and if every day you move forward towards that dream, that you will meet with success, unexpected, in uncommon hours. In other words, you do not have to have everything figured out when you start the race. The most important thing is to go once the race begins. And whether you fall short or you get to the end, you've run your race, which is what I hope you will do.